What is up, everybody? Thanks for checking out Hunt, Shoot, Live. I've been super excited about this episode because today I'm going to do a recap of my 2020 deer season, or at least the first part of my 2020 deer season. We've still got late muzzleloading left to go, quite a lot of hunting left to go. I'm bucked out, and you'll get to see about that in this episode, but still got a lot of doe hunting that I want to do. But I wanted to go ahead and get this episode out because I got such awesome stuff to share. My daughter getting an awesome buck to begin with, and some super cool stories with my hunts, deer and rifle season. It all kicked off this year with old dad getting to go back with my baby girl. She's 11 years old this year, and she was ready to put down another deer. And so I got started early in the year, getting out in August and continuing into September, looking at different bucks that we had. It's such a great time of year to get out and look, and we were seeing so many different deer, and I had one specific buck in mind for her really from about the first time that I saw him. And of course I had picked out some bigger ones too, but there was this one buck in particular, this 8-point, that just kept making himself so stinking visible. And he was just in the same spot all the time. So he was absolutely #1 hit lister buck. And sure enough, when we get out there opening morning, it was super foggy, and she got it done. Shoot him if you're ready. Oh, you cracked him, baby.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yay.
Did so super awesome. That was it happened so fast, and I've not even went back and looked at the footage yet. I don't know how that turned out, just because of how chaotic and quick. After Bailey got tagged out, I was ready to start putting some time in for myself, and I had already spotted a buck just while I was in there scouting for her that I wanted for myself. Beautiful 8-point buck that was somewhat visible early on, and then we had a little debacle with the farm hands coming in and doing some cutting, some clear cutting, and he disappeared on me. And I hunted this buck hard. I glassed hard, trying to find this buck again during the early part of our first muzzleloading season. And just a couple days in, I found him again. And I kept having close encounters with him. I actually had 2 different close encounters with him at 300 to 400 yards, and with a muzzleloader, I can't do that. I'm not comfortable doing that with my muzzleloader. I had another interaction with him that was and I was kind of getting dialed in where I needed to be setting to try to kill this buck too. And had him one morning at 120 yards, and all I had was just the neck up. And at that point, I'm like, all right, buddy, I got you dialed in. And I'm sitting, hunting one evening, still early muzzleloading, and just kaboom! Something, a muzzleloader goes off, scares the crap out of me. And it turns out that another one of the guys that I hunt with, his son, ended up killing the buck that I was after. And this was just a beautiful buck for any of us to take. And I was heartbroken, but if anybody could take that buck other than myself, I was glad it was him. So, and I got to be there that evening and got to be a part of the retrieval of that buck. So that was cool. Even though I didn't get to take him, I got to help close the chapter on him there. So that was awesome. But fast forward into rifle season, and that's when around here, the rut really seems to kick in hardcore during rifle season. And sure enough, it did this year. We saw some awesome rutting activity, a lot of scrapes and rubs and bucks running, chasing does. It just wasn't the right bucks. I took quite a bit of time off work, was fortunate enough to be able to do that, and had some great encounters, some super close encounters with some bucks, and it was just not the bucks that I was looking for. And it got to that point that, and of course I self-film, I'm doing this all by myself, the majority of the time anyway. So I'd hunted hard, and several several days I'd already spent, 13, 14-hour days hiking in the dark, hiking out in the dark, and just not seeing anything. I had told myself on this one particular day, all right, I'm getting up and I'm doe hunting today. So I get over on the club and I'm driving around and horns catch my eye running way off in the field, and I just responded super quick, pulled the truck off the road, jumped the fence, took off running, and here you go. I'm not one of those deer hunters that if the camera's not running and waiting on the camera to get going might cost me to get the shot, I'm going to leave that camera laying every time, and I'm going to get the shot. So that's exactly what happened this morning. I had to respond very hastily to a buck running a doe. I apologize, I do not have any footage of that. Here's the beautiful country that I'm hunting though. Open field. Like I said, it happened so super fast. The buck ran the doe over the ridge behind me, and man, I just had to lay down and take a quick shot. Not terribly far, probably 150 yards, and I brought my Ruger Precision Rifle 300 Win Mag today, which you guys check out. I got some videos ringing steel with that thing at a mile. Had a 910-yard doe kill last year, so I came today with anticipation of doing some long ranging, and had a 150-yard shot. But that's I'll take that. I like easy. Easy is good when it comes to a buck. He's a beautiful rack. So when I saw him, he was a 120-inch buck, man. I had been hunting so hard and just seeing so little of any kind of a quality buck. And this is him. I've already got him boiled out. I've actually got a kit ordered to where I can redo his G2 that's broke off on this side. I had history with this buck. I did get some, I've got some great footage of this buck in the early season. He was super visible at that point. He was a young buck. He's definitely what we consider to be a young buck. And ideally, I guess I would have wanted to let him go, but hard times. It's hard for this old dude to not pull that trigger. And that was just a super cool culmination to several hard days of hunting. And he is a beautiful buck. And I'm anxious to try my hand at a little bit more amateur taxidermy too, and fix that broken point. But you can see he's a beautiful deer, super beautiful buck. Make a very good mount, European mount to put on the wall, if I can not butcher that tine. From that point, my season takes a turn that I absolutely wouldn't have dreamed that it would have done. I guess I hoped that I would get an opportunity at the buck that I ended up getting to take as my second Virginia buck, but I never dreamed that it would be the buck that it ended up being. We have hunted a buck that we have ever so creatively dubbed as the Big Six for at least 4 to 5 years. I know I've got video of him. This video here that I'm showing you is from 2016. And, I guess I passed that deer on that day, and to be honest with you, I've regretted passing that deer that day ever since. He was a beautiful 2.5, 3-year-old deer at that point in time 4 years ago. I just, I've beat myself up over not taking him then, ever since then. And that particular day, another guy on the club missed him 2 different times shooting at him. And there has just been multiple interactions with this buck for the past 4 or 5 years, especially over the last 2 to 3 years. This is some trail cam video that we had of him from 2 years ago, so 2018. This is the majority of the footage that we had, and I think there was just a couple of sightings on the hoof. I did not see this buck in 2018. Now, we got 2 different trail cam videos from the 2019 season, and as you can see, he is just absolutely beautiful. He is a beautiful buck. And in the 2019 season, he was wounded, and we tracked him forever and couldn't find him. At least one other person shot at him once, and he was seen by a couple other people. And I saw him in 2019 and didn't get a shot. So then snap forward to this year, 2020, we didn't have any sightings of him in early season scouting, and we still really didn't know the nature of his hit that he took last year. We tracked him a long ways uphill, and we thought that he lived, but you never know what winter's going to do to a buck after the rut, especially with him wounded like that. And on October 30th, he pops up on one of our trail cameras. We've got that mountain covered in trail cams, and you just get a brief side shot of him, and we're like, oh my gosh, that has to be him. That has to be the big six. I can't remember if any of our club members spotted him, but the farm hands kept talking about this big six that they saw, this monster 6-point that they saw. Then on November the 22nd, we get this little snippet on trail cam, and it's no doubt, it's him. It absolutely is him. So that picture was taken on November the 22nd on the top of the mountain, and 2 days later, I am in there hunting. I went on a doe hunt. I was chilling again. I'd killed my 8-point. I was chilling again. I was going to come knock some does down. Specifically wanted to shoot some at 1,000 yards or further. I killed one last year, got video on my YouTube channel, 910 yards I killed a doe, so I wanted to top that. So I don't even have a buck on my mind, and then I show up and this happens. It's the last week of rifle, and I come over here with my man Simmons today. We were going to knock some does down long range, and I'm sucking at videoing this year. Sucking. That broke tine 8-point that I got the other day, I did not get that on video. And I'll be daggone, man, we come up here and we set up to do some long ranging on some does. And I spotted a monster 6-point that people on our club here we've been chasing this deer for at least 4 years. He's a monster, and I'll be daggone, we were getting set up on some does that he was with, 1,080 yards, and well, we didn't know he was with them, and he pops out. So I did not want to waste time getting cameras going. Here, of course, is where we are on this ridge, and here is where the buck is. Right there. I cracked him. I crushed him. And 1,080 yards. Of course, I ain't got hands on him yet. I've got my Ruger Precision in the 300 Win Mag, 210 grain Burger VLDs. Got the old Night Force NXS on it. I've got the rig, and we dropped him, but nothing is certain until you get your hands on it. So we've been watching. There's been no more movement from there, so I guess we'll pack our stuff up, and it's going to take us a little bit to get over there. Big six is down, baby. 1,080 yards is where this adventure started, on that far ridge over there. Let's go check him out. I'll talk in a minute.
Heck yeah, man.
Dude, that is a bruiser of a 6-point.
That's him. Old deer.
Man, we have been chasing this buck. Look at this buck. We have been chasing this buck. Steven, I don't know, man. What do you think? At least 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I came doe hunting this morning. I was going to kill some does, trying to long range some does. And we were getting set up on the does, and one of them must have been in, and he popped out, and I said, holy crap, man. Look at that. Look at that. 1,080 yards tumbled him down the hill. Gosh, man. I can't believe that.
It's a pretty deer.
So here's the big 6. I've got these 2 included on this. I figured Amanda would punch me in the face.
I felt like it. No, I'm just kidding.
She might have silently said some words with hand gestures. But we have chased this buck for, we know, at least 5 years, and I think maybe a little bit longer than that. I'm very anxious. I'm gonna see if I can't have him aged with his jaws. But last year alone, well, go back many years ago, I passed this buck. I went out and got somebody else that's a club member. They missed him twice. Brandon passed him last year. Logan missed him last year. Amanda had hit right here during muzzleloading, and that's a solid, massive.
Hit a branch and kicked off.
So he lived through a pretty good injury, basically, which it looks like it's healed up. I mean, that's solid as can be. And
even with that, he ran straight up the steepest
last year,
hill
yeah.
Last year when we tracked him, I mean, with that leg.
Tough old boy.
I mean,
he is a
to
beast.
speak of he's not got 9 lives. Like, this buck has had 50 different lives.
Yeah.
But I was with Logan last year when Logan shot at him, and he was running at like 400 yards, and I mean, there's just such a crazy history with this buck. Mm-hmm. Trail camera pictures, just awesome history. And then me and Peyton this morning came to doe hunt, and 1,080 yards I got this buck. And the funny thing is,
awesome.
Logan was coming in. The buck was way back here. Me and Peyton were way over there, and we didn't see Logan coming. Where were you coming? He was right here.
Yeah, he was on the Bee Tree Ridge.
And you said you were just about to crack a shot off.
Laid down with his gun.
And we didn't know any of that, which from where we were at, we could not see down here. So it's not like we were shooting 200 yards over top of where he was at. But he said he laid down and was getting ready to crack a shot off, and then wham, and he flopped. And you thought your dad?
I thought my dad shot it, yeah.
So he got mad.
I got mad because I thought my dad shot it. Because my dad's the one that sent me up here.
And his dad, Steven, was at the top of the hill up there. So, man, this
cool buck, cool stories to tell for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This buck will be mounted 100%.
Absolutely.
and obviously I'm gonna eat him. I eat all my deer, but he is getting a full head mount, and he will go on my wall. And this is probably, just because of all of the conversations and the interactions and the pictures, this is cool.
Oh, yeah.
This might be the coolest buck kill we've had on this club since it started.
He's been the talk of the farm for 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, we've so many different interactions that we've had
great.
with this buck. So it's super cool. And I must say that even though Amanda wants to hit me, that adds a little bit of satisfaction also.
I still love you, man.
Super cool. And I appreciate Peyton too, being willing to step aside and not shoot at those does and let me shoot this one. So thanks, man.
Anytime, brother.
So I've just been in a constant state of disbelief. Who goes out and thinks that I wanted to shoot a doe at 1,000 yards or 1,200 yards. I never dreamed I was going to shoot a trophy buck at 1,080 yards, and I did. It's just still so surreal. I didn't get it on video, but I did have 7 other people there to be witnesses to the fact that it happened, and of course I got to show you guys the retrieval footage and all that. But I got to thinking about, had I taken that extra 30 seconds to set my camera up and to get it zoomed in, because I didn't have my camera set up yet. We had just got there, set the spotter up. Peyton was getting ready to lay down. I spotted a couple does. We were collecting our stuff. He got a yardage, and then I look back in the spotter, and boom, there's the buck. The buck is standing there. So then we have to switch up, and I have to get all my gear. I told him, I was like, dude, I'm not setting this camera up. I'm shooting at this buck. And unbeknownst to us, Logan was setting up on that buck too. And he was looking at that buck through his scope when I rolled him down the hill. So if I had taken that extra 30 seconds, set that camera up, I would have been filming Logan shooting that deer instead of me shooting that deer at 1,080 yards. So it's bittersweet that I don't literally have the shot on footage, but I got the buck, I made the shot, multiple people were there to see it, and the rest is history, man. So that's my season so far. Hopefully got a couple more videos coming out for you guys, some more long-range stuff with a couple of my other buddies and a couple other bucks that we're taking. But appreciate you all for checking out Hunt, Shoot, Live. Be sure to check us out every week. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I do have videos coming out every single week. And I'm going to have some more deer hunt videos, long-range videos, and things like that coming out from this season. So until next time, God bless.